Hi.
Hi, so today we're going to talk about all the misconceptions about homemaking. And the number one question that always comes up is finances. People ask, so what about finances?
Yeah, that is a very big question. And
If anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think about such things. Welcome to Everything Noble. So, as a Christian, we are doing kingdom work, and so we know that the family is more important than anything else. But we are in this world and we have to eat.
these are all the bills we have, and this is how much we need to earn. Maybe if you want to save a little bit for extra in case something happens, yes. When you can sit down and make those budgets and write it down, and you now say, oh, based on the salary of the husband, maybe it's not enough, then short term, you can say, okay, before things get better, maybe the wife can come and chip in and help and boost the finances of the family, which is completely fine. And that's how what marriage is all about, right? Helping each other, making sure the family is moving forward. But now, if it is just about okay, I want to be seen as having the latest cars in town, having the biggest house, some of the things that are not really necessary, but it's just for our pride. And you're saying, okay, I need to get this. I need to, I need to maybe get to a point whereby people start looking at me in a different. Like I think when we start moving towards that selfish, that's when we need to call ourselves back and say, you know what, the question is what is actually enough. That is because when we start push, for me, one thing I believe is that we can't. If you're chasing money, I don't believe you can ever have enough of it because if people get enough of money, the billionaires will probably will not be investing. They will probably stop at one point and say, you know what, I'm a billionaire. Why am I even stressing? But these guys, they when they talk to the employees, oh, we need perfection, we need this. It shows like they still want to earn more. They still want their companies to be any more profit, any more revenue, and all that. But so the question is, when is it enough?
Yeah.
So actually, I don't believe finances actually will give you the peace that you need in your family. I know. There's a verse in the Bible. I can't remember. It's in the book of Proverbs that says a house with is it little bird or something but with peace is way more than a house full of so many resources but strife. I think it's in the book of Proverbs.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I think when I am calling parents, I'm calling married couples, I'm calling just communities to pay attention to the home and that we should homemake. I am just saying we should mind the four corners of our home because sometimes we don't even realize when we have enough money. Okay, we think that the wants are also needs, and I am right there in the midst of it. Okay, don't think that I don't face these challenges. A lot of times when I've gone out to work and I've people somebody has called me lazy in the past, but that is okay. I think that I would choose working than working in the home because I do better than taking care of my home. But I'm willing to learn. That's why I'm here. So when people say I'm lazy because I'm not working, I laugh. But there's been a lot of times that I've gone out to work, and the main purpose why I have gone out to work was because I wanted to have things without being bothered by my husband. But finances is mostly this way in the home. The man's money is for all of us, and the woman's money, she can do whatever she wants with it. And so because the man's money is for the house, he's in control of what it is it's done with. And so there's always a limit for the woman. So the woman wants to work so that she can do whatever she wants. And like he's saying, how much is enough? Because even the people we call billionaires, the last time I checked, Bill Gates was raising funds. People say, "Oh, I want to work because I want independence and I want financial freedom." But do you tell me how many people have? And as a Christian, we've not been called for that lifestyle anyway. We've not been called to just go after money and waste it. And it's not like you wake up and then you have that money. You have to invest your time, the time that you spend with your husband. And we are finding a lot of marriages, especially in the diaspora, African marriages in the diaspora, breaking because of this issue. You are going to put in the time that you spend with your children. We have kids having feeding problems because they have to be put in school and the caretakers don't have time to really look into what the child is facing. You take the child to school, they don't eat their food, they become picky eaters. We don't realize that this is all time that we are investing to get this money. So it is just a matter of balancing. I think we missed that point. Okay. So I'm not saying, when I say homemaking, I'm not saying you shouldn't. You see the fly, you heard about the 2021 flies. They have keys to the home. So you need to find the balance, like how much do I want? You need to sit down and calculate. You need to, sometimes it's just this where you are right now. You need to work, you need to get that money. And that should be a lesson to us when we are raising the next generation. And that's why I share some of these things, because it's not me telling you that you need to change your life. I'm saying this is something we can think about when we are training our children. When I'm training my daughter, my son, I'm telling them how it is when you have children now, the things you have to do, the money you have to put in, so they know when they are getting in. For me, it's kind of too late and I have to just manage. But for them, they can start well. So it's not like I'm saying change your life, don't do this. I'm saying pay attention to this. This is something that you have to think about. So yeah, you have to just calculate your life. You have to look at the things that are important to you, and that is when finances will not come in. So the family come first before the finances, and any chance we get, we buy time for ourselves, not sell our time for money. No, we want to buy the time for ourselves. That is how it is for our family here. And I've done a lot of jobs, guys, a lot of side hustles. It's just that I'm not chasing career right now. It's not in the mix for me at all with the kind of family that we have decided we are going to have.
And what I want to say is that, no, it's fine. The way the world system is today, having a career has become the big thing. Like, even for men. Normally when women say they want to be career, everybody starting. But I think it's the way the whole society is. It's like it's been built in such a way that, okay, if you are not chasing a career, you can't get to the. But based on my own profession, I see how people, whether man or woman, the way they suffer to get to the top. Like, people don't say that. People don't put it out and say this is what they had to, sleepless nights, getting this. But when they get to the top, people start saying, oh, it's the CEO, it's the managing partner, is all this, is all that. But for me, I believe if God is the source of our existence, He feeds us, He does that. Everything will work together for our feeding, for what we need for us to actually survive. So there's one thing chasing career. How many years will it take you to get to the top? One thing I realized, that to really get to the top, it's not like something like, oh, I started working hard now, and then tomorrow, next year. It takes years, even sometimes decades. So some people became CEO maybe after 20 years of working, 25 years of working. And it's not like when you get to that level, then you think you can just go and be sleeping. No, there's extra work then to maintain that level, because people behind you want to take your position as well. Then the question now comes, that's why those billionaires don't even rest. You don't want to be a billionaire today and tomorrow they're calling you a millionaire.
Like you said, it's more about conforming to the world. We have to have things that show that, yeah, we are moving with the world. And that is the part that makes the things that we would love to do hard for us to do, because the things we love to do that we know are pure and good and noble, it's not what everybody is wanting. And there has been a research actually done where somebody had the correct answer A, but because everybody chose B, they changed their answer to B. So it's really a hard thing that we have to work from the inside, our spirit. So if you're a Christian, you know that you have to always pray for the Holy Spirit to lead you. And let's go to the next thing about finances. People always ask me, what will you do if your husband leaves you? I don't know why they don't ask him, what will happen if I leave him? But anyway, I always say a lot of these feminist things, it's against feminine people, because they don't speak for us. They're always putting us in a place of powerlessness. And then they say they are empowering us, which is confusing to me. But let's answer the question: what will I do if you leave me?
For me, for when we start thinking about issues like that, like, oh, there is a, maybe there might be, there's a chance, a small chance of, oh, the husband can leave the wife, then the wife will be left alone and things like that. Which I'm not saying people are not doing it, but the question is, what is, as a child of God first? Where is your faith lies? Even with the work you're doing and everything, and the husband leaves you, and you think, okay, I have something to fall back on. That doesn't
You can lose your
mean,
job.
yeah, that doesn't mean you still come out, your children will come out well, or even you have that peace you're looking for. That's, to me, those things doesn't really work. The question is, so if you, as husband and wife, comes together and you say, okay, let's sit down, being the husband, being the head of the family and the provider, right? And he's doing the provision, and you as a woman, you're trying to make sure the kids are growing well, the home is being kept well. For me, you both of you are working.
Yeah.
Both of you are working. So I don't see
That's what I
why
wanted
we
to
now make it
say.
sound like because the man is the one providing, which is what the Bible is actually saying. Now is the woman needs to live what is actually naturally for them to start chasing the role of the man, so that they feel, I don't, for me I don't know how women are not even confused with that. Like,
By the way, women are not confused with this because the world is changing. People believe that there are no roles like
yeah,
man,
equality
woman.
and all that.
So people are not thinking along this line. But if you're a Christian, you know that this is how God has made us to be. People are doing, they are working, okay? They are working. They never think about, if I lose my job, what is going to happen? People are in churches and the pastor says something, they say I receive. People are manifesting things, things that are almost impossible. They believe that it's going to happen to them. So if I am listening to God, I'm going his way, why must I believe that? Why don't you want me to have faith that everything is going to be okay because I am going God's way? That's number one. Number two, these things happen, we know. So we are not going to sit here and be like, oh, everything will be fine. It's not always fine. The church, if he leaves me and you people think that I did not have any work, so I will suffer. Let's take it that way. Which I think that I was working in this house, and so we will all suffer when we we break up. But let's say I will suffer. The church is our number one place for this. God created the church. The one of the purpose of the church, okay, the body of Christ, is for this, that when a person finds themselves in this position, the church has to take care of them. But unfortunately,
The
church
church,
has changed.
the money that's going to the church is not for the members.
Especially churches in Africa, they are not staying in this role. Number two, if something like this happen and you guys, I don't know, the way people invest and they are going after stock exchange and what, why don't you invest and say, okay, when we break up, this is the money you are taking and this is what I'm taking. You love each other. You can do that as well. I think that we have excuses. Okay, if right now you are homemaking and everything is fine, you have no reason to say that if he leaves me, I
Why?
will suffer.
Why
Unless
shouldn't
right
you?
now things are not going okay, then you have to plan towards that. But I think it's just one of the things that people want to use as an excuse. Another question that I always come up, it's not a question, it's a statement. Somebody told me this is so 1960 that you want women to homemake and you want this and this and that. And I'm saying, okay, whether it's 1960, it's 1915, is there anything wrong with it? If it's not broken, we don't have to fix it. So if there is a problem with it, then I need to know and I will make sure that problem is being addressed, not the whole thing itself being cancelled out.
And one thing I also realized is that because we the way the society is today, the man and the woman are working long hours. Now who suffers is the children. Now these
Yeah.
are the same children in decades to come will be leaders. Now what do you expect in the society? And that's why some of the things we're actually facing today in our society is because of what happened 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's because when the focus is not on raising good children, because there's no way both the husband and wife are working long hours at work, that it will not have an impact on it. It's not possible. Daycare will not solve it for you. 100%. It's not possible. Now, in Africa, back in the day, you used to have a community raising the kids. Oh, you have your parent coming in to help.
Grandmother.
You know, all those people are there to mold, and it's not just a stranger doing it. These are people that have the interest of you because they're your parent. They know they have your interest. They raise these kids well. But now, when in this day and age, especially in the Western world, where you don't even have the time, the husband is working 12 hours to make money, and you too, you have to make, you're chasing career, you have to make 12 hours as well, make all the money. Then the kids are not really taking, because when you come home, the next thing you want is, oh, I want these kids to sleep so that I can rest and have some time for myself. But over time, these kids will grow, they become teenagers. And when you get to that age of teenage years, man, it's too late.
We don't listen. I mean, you remember when you were a teenager,
Yeah,
right? It's
you
like
don't want to listen.
nobody
You
cares
already have
about
your own
me.
mind.
You don't understand me. We feel like you at that age. You feel like nobody understands you.
And when you get to 18, especially let's say here in America, you get to 18, you already start thinking, oh, let me go and do something. You're already planning from the kids are already about to leave your house. Then you don't have any control over them anymore. So the question now comes that what is the gain at the end of the day? Okay, you enjoy yourself, fine. But what about those children God has given you? For me, if we claim to love one another and we claim to love our kids, I think we should give them the best. As I said, if finances was the issue, sit together first in the beginning, know where because sometimes maybe the husband does not have enough money to take care of the entire family, which is out there. Then I understand why, okay, as a woman, you want to come in. But you do need to get it. It's not like you, the woman, is just doing it. You waking up early in the morning, coming back late, just for you to go and have some money, and you just want to enjoy yourself. At least you're doing it together. Everything is coming together with your husband. Then I will understand. But if you're just
because you want extra to spend on yourself and you want to.
I know you're forsaking.
And it's tricky. It's not easy because, like, I don't know, as an African child, you know that there are things you have to show. Even if your parents don't need the money, you have to send some money home. I can tell you for sure that my dad is disappointed in me and it breaks my heart, but it is what it is, you know. And we have to focus. It's not easy, but you have to focus on where you are going to and where you see yourself, okay? The rest will be okay. Somebody tell me that the fact that you're a stay-at-home mom or the fact that you taking care of your children and you have daily interaction with them doesn't mean they will turn out good.
Mm-hmm. But
that is life.
But that is out
so
of your hand.
That
one is
just do your work. You know,
it's just like you're saying.
Once again, it's excuses. You know,
it's just like you're saying. I pray to somebody. That person will accept Jesus. No, you can pray to someone that doesn't. That is not guaranteed the person will accept Christ. The only thing you can do is to go out and preach, right? Mm-hmm. Then you live the rest. So for you, you've given your best. You've raised the kids the way. I just imagine the way I grew up. My parents, the way they try to raise us to make sure we follow Christ and all that. To me, those things are very, 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 very important.
We will end here and then we'll come again and then we'll talk about more things about homemaking. But yeah, homemaking is not the more you are following God and His heart for the family, the more your heart will be leaning towards the having time for your home, spending less and less time chasing the worldly things. And sometimes it's not you chasing the worldly things, it's your needs that you are chasing, which I totally agree with. I wish that he would be working less hours, but he has to work for us to eat. So I am just saying this is something we have to pay attention to.
I just want to chip this in. Mm-hmm. Like, one of the most underrated verses in the Bible is when Christ was saying, why do we worry so much?
You want to get out?
Why do we worry so much about what we need to eat when the birds in the air don't even harvest and keep things like why do we worry so much? And to me that's one of the most underrated verse in the Bible. Like, we worry so much, we make all these plans, which I'm not saying you shouldn't make plans. I'm not saying you shouldn't make plans for I need to put down this money for so time. It's fine, but when as a family, we think so much about finances that we forget about the people God has given us then I think that is when we need to take a step back and start thinking like, you know what, God, my worry will not even add one cent to my account. It's you that provides for me, Lord. Help me to deal with these worries. A lot of people they are rich. You find they have high blood pressure, they have this kind of disease, they have this kind of. It's because because the way the society is, we worry. Somebody is earning $300,000 a year, but you still see them. No, I need to go and invest in this business, or I need to have five because my friends are into this business. I need to make sure I'm in. But the money you have is even enough. But yet you worry so much about being able to be categorized with your fellow friends in the same category. To me, some of those things don't really, like, we need to. I know it's not easy because I've been there too before. Like, man, I need to get this. I need to get this. I need to have this amount of money. I remember when I was in school, in university, I used to feel like, man, if I start earning this amount of money, which is not even what I'm earning today, I'd be like, wow, I'm on top of the world. Right now, I'm earning even far more than that one. But I'm still like, man, I need more. I need this. I need more. I need to be able to, like, buy this. I need to be able to do that. By the end of the day, when is it going to stop? That is the question. So for me, when it comes to finances, only God blesses. So when you leave the rest to Him, God will sustain us. I mean, that's just my own final.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
We'll come back again with more things about homemaking, how we are managing, and more details about, finances and other things. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. We'll be happy to answer. Remember, we are not here as idols or being the standard. We are just saying, is this something that you think we should pursue as a people, as children of God? And so Christ is our standard, okay? Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.
Bye.